Would you mind giving me 5 minutes with the solicitor? There's a few things I want to ask her.
Oh, no problem. Look, just be outside if you want us. Come on.
Feeling all right, Mrs. Sullivan?
Not really, no. Why on earth didn't you question that awful woman?
She struck me as a very brazen person who would respond to questions by pouring out all her claims all over again. I didn't want to give her that opportunity.
Well, I just hope you know what you're doing. Do you think the case is going against me, then?
No point playing guessing games. Let's just wait and see.
Oh, Mum, I'm starving. Can we go chip shop?
No, come with Ella's like. We need to stay here and see what happens. Here, I found a toffee for you.
It's got all fluff on it.
Well, it's that or nothing. Hey, from what Les tells me, you were dead good, our Chesney, telling the tale in there. Want you, Les?
Highly convincing. As good as a policeman.
I'm proud of you. Florida, here we come.
Do you reckon?
I can feel it in the water. We're gonna win.
I don't know. Anything can happen in these courts, you know. Sometimes they get it right.
What's up with you? Anybody think you wanted Rita Sullivan to get off?
I'm not saying that.
Just as well. Because if we don't win today, bang goes as compensation, and you know our Chesney set his little heart on this holiday.
Oh, I can't stand that woman.
Just as well her and Les Battersby have got together. At least they're not making two other people's lives a misery.
What are those magistrates doing? I don't know why they had to come out of court. It's perfectly obvious Rita's innocent.
Only to those people who know her, I'm afraid, Norris.
You'd be best getting back into court. Magistrates will be returning any minute now. Not you, young man. You're not old enough. You have to stay out here with Tom.
Oh, it's not fair. What's even fun?
Stop moaning. You stay here with this nice gentleman, and don't give him any cheek. Come on, Les. It's jackpot time.
The defendant will stand. We find the case proved and the defendant guilty.
Yes! Don't believe it.
In view of your hitherto unblemished record, and indeed your age, we do not consider there is any necessity for a custodial sentence. On the other hand, the court takes a severe view of assaults on young people and believes that such behaviour must be discouraged. You will pay a fine of £500. Further to this, you are ordered to pay compensation to your victim in the sum of, again, £500. Do you wish to ask for time to pay?
No. But I tell you what I do wish for. I wish you lot up there had an ounce of common sense between you.
Sit down, Mrs. Sullivan.
You sit up there, laying down the law. It's pathetic. You haven't a clue. You've sat there swallowing a pack of lies off a little lad who's had a trumped-up tale drummed into him by his mother and a fancy man.
Sit down, madam, and be quiet.
If you three had any judgment at all, you'd see through people like that. And what's more, you'd want to do something about people who coach a child into telling lies so they can make money out
Madam,
of it.
I advise you for the last time, be quiet.
Innocent! There's not a more decent, honest woman in this town. And if she swears she's not guilty, you can believe...
Silence in court!
Somebody said the law was an ass. And by hell, how right they are.
Security! Remove this woman. I am holding you, madam, in contempt of court.
Shame on you, man. You're a disgrace.
I advise you to think carefully about your behaviour.
This isn't justice. It's a mockery.
Norris, stay out of it.
That man in the public seats. Take him down as well.
What? I'm not on trial here, you know. I haven't done anything.
We won, Ches, we won! Justice was done.
Justice, my backside.
Oh, you prejudice, you lot. Just because one of your pals got shown up for what she is.
Yeah, all right, Scylla. Let's be off, eh? The lad wants feeding.
You played a blinder, Ches. Come on, we'll get you a burger and some fries. And then we'll go and celebrate in the Rovers.
Celebrate? I hope it chokes you. If there'd been justice here today, you'd be behind bars.
What's your email?
Oh, take the notice of them. They're just bad losers. But we're not finished with Rita Sullivan. Not by a long chalk. We're going to get you proper compensation for what you suffered.
What are we going to do?
Not much we can do, is there? Might as well go home.
Yes. Well, you go, Blanche, and you too, Audrey, but I think I'll stay. I don't want to walk away till I find out what's happening to Rita.
Hey, I'm not leaving you here on your own.
Oh, well, I'll stay, no. I mean, let's go and see if we can find that solicitor. Shiver over the straw.
Oh, I don't know what came over me. I mean, it's not like me, is it, to go shouting the odds, but when he said guilty, I couldn't contain myself.
That was only too obvious. Well, I'll tell you the same as I'm telling Mr. Sullivan. You go back into court and you apologise to the magistrates.
You mean it's not enough that I'm made out to be a criminal? I've now got to go back in there and thank them for doing that to me.
It's not quite that bad. You're not admitting guilt. You're simply saying sorry for abusing the magistrates. Rightly or wrongly, they're just doing their duty to the best of their abilities.
Well, I don't think much of their abilities.
Fair enough, but keep that to yourself when you're standing in their court. Because until you come up with some kind of apology, you won't be going home. Do you understand that?
Well, one thing I do understand. Norris shouldn't suffer for what I've said. You tell him you're sorry, Norris, because I want you back in the cabin this afternoon. Keep the shop going and get the papers out on time.
No, Rita. I'm with you all the way down the line on this one. I mean, it's not that I want to go to prison, because I don't. I mean, I wouldn't relish being used as a plaything by hardened criminals. And it does go against the grain, but... well, I think perhaps I could bring myself to apologise for shouting at the magistrates, provided you do the same. I mean, well, it's a loyalty thing, isn't it? I mean, one out, all out, so to speak. All I can say by way of mitigation, I think that's the right word, mitigation.
Yes, go on, man.
You see, well, it was an instinctive reaction to her distress. I mean, knowing Mrs. Sullivan like I do, and knowing her to be one of the straightest, most upright persons you could wish to meet on a long day's march.
Yes.
I got carried away. I got carried away in the emotion of the time, you see, and I very much regret that, you see, because I've always prided myself on my ability to keep a stiff upper lip, so I'm truly sorry.
As magistrates, we feel it is vital to protect and foster that respect for the majesty of law, without which we are as beasts of the field. In apologising, as you have, we can accept that your devotion to your wife carried you...
Oh, no, sorry, excuse me, I don't want to mislead anybody. Mrs. Sullivan and I are not married.
Ah, I assumed...
We're friends. I think I can claim that, but it goes no further than that, you see. It's the fact that we work together...
You're free to go.
No,
you may leave the court.
Yes, but I don't want to get a wrong impression.
Sit down! We come now to Mrs. Sullivan.
Ta-da! Ask us who won then.
Are you saying they found Rita guilty?
Of course they did. 500 quid fine plus 500 quid confy for our Chesney. And that's only the start. We're going to sue Rita Snotty Sullivan for a damn sight more than that. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Money. Never mind what you have to do to get it.
Hey, that's your mother you're talking to.
Yeah, don't I flaming know it?
I don't believe Rita ever hit your lad. She's not the type.
Now, come on. I've caught her being snotty towards our Craig a couple of times.
Yeah, it's not the same as belting a kid, though, is it?
All I'm saying is you don't know what she's capable of.
Oh.
Another pint, please, Betty.
No, I know what Rita's capable of.
Hey, I only want a pint.
Well, get somebody else to serve you.
Come on, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'll serve you. What is that pint? I want Betty to serve it.
Well, you'll have to want then, won't you?
She's upset over her friend. Just be reasonable. It will taste just the same at me pulling it.
Ain't anybody going to congratulate us? Well, you miserable lot.
My client wishes to apologise unreservedly for her unfortunate outburst. In a moment of great stress, she
With the greatest of respect, Miss Mirrelson, we wish to hear the apology from Mrs. Sullivan herself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mrs. Sullivan.
Well, if I'm trying to explain myself, when I heard the verdict, I was totally shocked. I couldn't believe that you'd decided I was guilty.
We are not here to retry your case. You've had a fair hearing.
You might think it's fair. I certainly don't. I stood here and I was on oath and I told you the truth. And you listened to a fairy story, codged up by people who'd scrabble through a dustbin if they thought they could make a bob or two out of it.
Mrs. Sullivan.
And not only did you listen, you believed it. When anyone with half a brain could suss out it was a put-up job designed to be a set-up for a claim for compensation.
I give you final warning.
And because you're a bunch of numbskulls, I'm landed with a criminal record, while the real criminals are out celebrating. Well, if you think that's justice, I think you're not fit to be sat up there.
You are in contempt of court. You will be remanded into custody. Security, take this woman down.
We're your neighbours and all, you know. Why aren't you feeling glad for us?
Because we all feel very sorry for Rita. Would have thought that was obvious.
You think I'm rubbish, don't you?
No, I doubt it.
Well, you should, Ken, because she's rubbish. I have had it with her.
Hey! Don't want any rough stuff.
Look. Why don't we all just have a quiet drink? Deirdre, you'll have a drink, won't you? I'm buying.
Oh, yes, you're buying. With the money you're screwing out of Rita, it'd choke me.
Shelley, we'll get our lunch somewhere else, yeah?
I thought you wanted hot pot.
Change their minds.
Yeah, go on, buzz off. We're good enough to buy stuff in your piddling little shop, but you wouldn't have a drink with us. Well, who needs you?
Calm down, will you? She's frightening me customers.
We're customers and all. Yeah. And I bet we spend more money in here than any of them.
Oh, putting it, Les.
Blanche, we know that Rita lost her case.
That's not all she's lost.
What do you mean?
She gave the magistrates a mouthful. She wouldn't crawl and say she was sorry, so they've locked her up for the night.
Oh, they put her in the cells.
Well, it's her own fault. She asked for it and she got it.
Right. Come on, Scylla. We'll have a drink in the Flying Horse.
They can't keep her in prison, can they?
She doesn't apologise, they can and they will.
You'll have to make yourself as comfortable as you can, dear. I bet you wouldn't say no to a mug of tea, would you? I bet you've had no dinner, neither. I'll find you something. There. You seem a sensible lady to me. You won't do anything silly, will you? All the same, you understand. I had to take your bag off you. Make sure there's nothing you shouldn't have. I'll see you get it back. Well, I'll have to shut you in. I'll get you that tea as soon as I've got a minute.